Don't fall apart and think it's the end of the world just because the domain name that you want is not available in a .com. Hey everyone, my name is Erin Braxton, also known as the Rebel Geek. And in this video today, we are going to go back to the basics. For those of you who are just getting started in your business, who have a dream, who have something they want to do, they don't know where to begin, I am going to go through my 5 tips for securing the best domain name possible, web address, URL, what have you, for your business. Stay with me. I'm going to give you my 5 tips. And I just want to give you a little background on me, okay? My company name is called the Rebel Geek, and since 2012, I would say about 2012 is when my unofficial start to this particular business was. I began helping small business owners build their online communities, build their online environments, and I want to help you guys do the same thing. And I stumbled into this business because once upon a time I had a dream about an idea. I had no idea what I was doing. I had to figure that thing out all on my own. And then I just learned that, you know what? You can learn to do so much by yourself. And after getting played by web developer after web developer, I just decided to figure this stuff out on my own. So I know you can do it too. Tip number 1 is to choose a domain name that matches with your business. Most people would want to use theircompanyname.com. .com is the most common domain label, and we're going to get into those in a little bit. But sometimes that isn't available. I know when I got started in my business, therebelgeek.com is the Rebel Geek, but originally I wanted rebelgeek.com. Well, somebody bought that domain. They've been sitting on it with an unused WordPress template for years. So I just decided to put the word "the" in front of it, and I am the Rebel Geek. And so that is my website, therebelgeek.com. Now, for those of you who really want to utilize their business name in their domain, there are many ways to do that now. You might want to do something like adding your city behind your URL. So your company name LA.com or your company name NYC.com. The point is you want it to be simple and you want it to make sense. Maybe you sell handbags and you want handbag.com. Obviously that's probably taken. I never even checked. And the way you can check that is you can go to any domain registrar. I'm a fan of Google Domains, and just go to domains.google.com, and then you can type in the web address that you want to purchase, and it will say it's available or it's not. If it's not available, don't lose hope. Don't be discouraged. Don't stop going. Sometimes these little hiccups can prevent us from moving forward, and it's silly. There's plenty of domains out there. So play around, have some options. You may have to finagle some things and play with the words and do some stuff to get a domain that you're satisfied with, that you're happy with. Now, a minute ago, I talked about domain labels. Domain labels are like .com, .info, .net, .edu. There are so many domain labels right now. So my second tip for choosing a great domain for your business is just consider doing a different domain label, right? So the only domain label that would not be available to you would be like .gov because you're not a government institution, and .edu because you're not an educational institution. You can't even register those unless you have the proper permission. So we're not even going to go into that, but there are tons of domain labels out there that you can use. You can use .love, you can use .book, .xxx if you've got that kind of business. There are so many domain labels, and I am going to put the link on the screen right now to where you can go and check that. I have a quick URL that I can give you so you can check your domain labels and just go see how many domain labels are available. People will tell you don't do that because it's not as well known. I disagree. So the world is evolving. We've got to evolve with it. So look at a different type of domain label and a whole lot of options will have just opened up to you that may not be available to you if looking to get a .com. My third tip, and this is pretty basic and you probably already got this, but keep it simple. I talked about that a little bit earlier when I was telling you you want to choose a domain name that makes sense for your business. No hard to spell words, no super long domain name. It's just so easy for people to make mistakes. Keep it simple, make it make sense. If you have a really difficult last name and that's the name of your business, try to simplify. You want people to be able to find you. So do not fall on your sword trying to keep a domain name that is difficult. It's not going to serve you in the long run. Keep it simple. My fourth tip would be try your best not to use hyphens. You can use numbers in your domain name. I would just say try to stay away from hyphens. If somebody already has the domain name that you want and you know that you can get it with hyphens, I would say maybe not the best idea. Try to keep it simple. Again, no hyphens. Finally, my fifth tip on getting the best domains would be make sure that you have privacy protection on your domains. Privacy is a big issue right now, and we're already getting accosted and intruded upon and spammed as it is. So when you purchase a domain name, you have to give your information, your address, your company name, all of that kind of thing, your contact information. When you do not have privacy protection on your domain, for the time being, and this may change, but for the time being, that information is public knowledge. So if you don't put privacy protection on a domain, what ends up happening is people start contacting you, and not just on the phone. People will contact you via snail mail telling you need to do this to your domain and do that, and all these maybe fake official letters that come saying you've got to do this thing and that and pay for this and that. Put privacy protection on your domain name. Now, if you use something like a Google domains, or I think Namecheap, it's automatic, it's free, it's included. A lot of domain registrars will have included privacy protection. You be careful of GoDaddy. I have my reasons, but they try to slip and slide a lot of extras into your shopping cart, and they claim their domains come with privacy protection, but then when you go to checkout, there are about 2 or 3 other tiers of privacy protection that they want to try to sell you that you think you may need, but you might not need, okay? So anyway, just to recap, those are my 5 tips. Number 1, yourcompanyname.com. Use your company name in your URL if you can. It's the easiest thing to do. Second tip, if you don't have the .com available to you, choose a different domain label. There are many. There's just tons. There's tons, okay? Don't fall apart and think it's the end of the world just because the domain name that you want is not available in a .com, okay? Third tip, keep it simple. Don't make things difficult. You want people to be able to find you, but it needs to make sense. Long, confusing domain names, keep it simple. Not too many characters, not too long, not hard to spell. Fourth tip, don't use hyphens or other characters in your domain name if you can help it. If your domain name is taken, be creative, think out of the box. Sometimes there's a reason this stuff isn't available. There's a better idea, there's a better option. Try to keep any type of special characters out of your URL address. And finally, my 5th tip is privacy protection. Make sure you have it. You don't want to get a domain without it. We get spammed enough in this world coming through our digital spaces. We don't want to get a bunch of snail mail in the mail. Privacy protection, make sure it's included when you purchase your domain, and many domain registrars include it without charging you upwards of $20 a year for privacy protection. So that is it, everyone. Those are my 5 tips on how to choose the best domain name for your business. So again, Please like and share my video. Subscribe to my channel. It would help me a lot. This is my first one coming out of the gate after years of kind of being absent from YouTube. So I want to try to keep this thing going and give you guys great content, especially you new small business owners who really want to build a great online business and they're afraid, they fear it. I want to take the fear away. Also, if you have any comments for me, please leave your comments below and I will look at them. I will read them. I will respond. And I look forward to seeing you guys next time.